Mogul Motivation, educating and empowering entrepreneurs 1 week at a time, presented by True Stories Media. And I am your host, Antoine Twiz Taylor. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Mogul Motivation. This is episode 215, and I'm happy that you are here. Last week, after last week's episode, Stand Firm, my week went downhill. I had a couple bad days when it comes to business and when it comes to all of these things. And, you know, I suffer from seasonal depression every year from around October to January of the new year. I suffer from seasonal depression, and the cause for that is many things, and I don't really have time to get into that specifically, but nevertheless I do deal with it. And that's why last week's episode was about standing firm, because I knew a storm was coming, and it came immediately after that episode. The very next day my week started to take a turn for the worse, and I had to rebound. I had to get myself back together, and I had to tell myself, do not put your dreams on death row. Whenever we allow depression, anxiety, worry, anything that's negative invade our mind and our spirits, we tend to put our dreams on death row. And what that means is we just start to exist. We don't live anymore. We just sit in a cell that we have created in our minds, and we wait and we wait and we wait until we die. And when we die, our dreams die with us. That's what it means when you put your dreams on death row. We have to stop doing that. We cannot let the monsters that we must conquer. Remember that episode, the monsters we must conquer? We can't let these invisible forces continue to sideline us and imprison us. We have to liberate ourselves from bondage, from chains in our minds. It's a constant battle every single day and every single week. We have to do this, ladies and gentlemen. We cannot sit on death row. We must give ourselves a pardon. We must pardon ourselves. We must liberate ourselves. We must free ourselves from these cell blocks, from these bars that continue to keep us bundled up and wrapped up, and where we can't feel like we can move and be free. Too many people live their lives on death row. We're born and we ignore our purpose, or we don't care to find our purpose because we don't think we are worthy of our purpose. It doesn't matter the magnitude of your dreams. It doesn't matter how big your dreams are or how outlandish they may sound to the average person. You have to continue to go forward and make it happen. You have to continue to push forward. You have to continue to work. You have to continue to dream, continue to manifest that dream until it becomes reality. Imagine reality. So we have to stand firm through these storms, just like I said last week. But on top of standing firm in these storms, we have to avoid death row. Because what happens when the storms knock us down, they bruise our ego, they bruise our confidence, our courage, and our faith, and we voluntarily put ourselves on death row. Don't do that today. Don't do that this week. I'm determined not to let this seasonal depression defeat me this year. I'm determined to accomplish my major goals by the time the new decade arrives. I'm determined to win, and you have to be determined to win too. So if you find yourself sitting in a lonely, cold, mental cell where you feel like you can't get out, remind yourself that you have the power to pardon yourself out of that situation. You have the power to liberate yourself out of that situation by telling yourself, I will succeed. I will make this happen regardless. We carry the biggest cuffs for ourselves, and we cannot and we will not hold ourselves down. So that's my message this week, ladies and gentlemen. Very short, very brief. If this podcast has benefited you in any way, shape, or form, please leave a 5-star review and pass it on to somebody else who may benefit from it as well. So let's continue to work. Let's continue to imagine reality. Don't live on death row. Liberate yourself. Escape the chains. Escape the bars. Be free to chase after success and your dreams. Because it will come true as long as we do not give up. Have a great day. I'll talk to you next week, everyone.